It is such an honor to be able to be sitting with such a legend today, Mr. Big George Foreman. How are you?
Life is great.
Good, that's good to hear. So, of course, we're talking Big George Foreman, your movie, your story. Tell me about why you decided now was the time to do this.
Oh, been busy trying to make a story, number one, to live all these lives I had before. But when you think about it, you want to make certain you leave as much evidence behind as you possibly can that anyone can make it. Anyone. If you decide to fight, you can make it. A lot of times it's not in the ring, but just fighting not to give up, making certain you don't give up.
Yeah, and I think you are leaving those tidbits, of course, all throughout your life and in this movie. We're seeing that inspiration that you really are trying to put out to the world, which is amazing. And Chris Davis, you got him playing the role of yourself in this movie. What was that moment in time that you knew he's the one that I want to play me?
There was been years now that I wanted to do a movie, but I didn't want anyone imitating me. Chris Davis did a good job of acting out. I saw the movie, and it was like I was pulling for George Foreman. He was George Foreman. He put on a great acting, and even gained the weight like I did. Had me feeling sorry for him, like, you'll never be a boxer again. It was a good story. And Chris Davis, an excellent storyteller in acting.
The portrayal was amazing, and to see the side-by-sides, it's incredible to see. So I also want to know, watching this back and recreating some of these memories, the rumble in the jungle with your friend Muhammad Ali, what was it like kind of going through that and seeing it all play out all over again?
Oh, what a life I had to live because, I was thought, boy, I'm going to go out and give Muhammad Ali a chance to fight again, make him a few dollars. I had no idea that I'd be getting off the canvas and listening to the ref count me out. And I was devastated losing my title. I developed a resentment and hate that I wanted my title back. I wanted revenge. It never happened. By the time I could make it happen again, he was my beloved friend. I loved the guy. Probably one of the best friends and longest friends I've had in my life.
And I think it was also just amazing to see that friendship play out some on screen. But one really powerful moment was that moment that you said you died, and then you came back. What was that, looking back, because I know that was such an empowering and powerful experience for you. What was that like, stepping back into that moment?
Yeah, success and becoming champ of the world and losing it and make certain I regain it again, that was all important to me in my life. And then in the dressing room, I had an experience. In a split second, I was dead and alive again. That's when you lose everything. And I saw everything I'd worked for crumble behind my back. Real estate investment, money in the bank, hiding money in the safety deposit box. I lost everything, and I got upset in this nothingness. I said, I don't care if this is death, no hope. I still believe there's a God. And I was rescued from nothingness, live in that dressing room. I saw blood on my forehead and hands. I didn't believe in religion. I started screaming that Jesus Christ was coming alive in me. My life has changed and never was able to get back and get it together like I had it before. It's been a wonderful journey.
What do you think was the most rewarding part and maybe the most challenging part about going back through some of these stories for you?
And I'd forgotten because, you go through life thinking about, I got to pay my income tax. I got to make certain I have the right home, build the right fence. You think about all those things, but then I watched that movie, the little boy moving into the home in these rusty refrigerators. People would leave them behind because they didn't work when my mom would rent these houses. And I actually cried because they captured it in real art of coming from nothing. I didn't even have faith. I didn't have any hope. There it was. I was able to revisit that moment, and I cried. Like I said, it made a difference. The movie really made a difference to me.
It was beautiful to see, and I know you talked about, some of those moments with, walking in that house or just, how much you were sharing food with your siblings and all of that. But I love that we also saw how much your mom kept that faith and made sure regardless, you were going to pray before you had that meal. That was beautiful to see.
My dear mom, she's always praying and asking the Lord. I said, I'm going to become a millionaire so this lady can stop that praying. it didn't even change anything with her.
You got to keep that faith, George.
You got to keep that faith. What a mother.
When you think about all that you have done and everything that you see, of course, playing out in the movie and even things that didn't make the movie, when you take all that in and you sit back and you think about what you want your legacy to be, what does that look like? If you could describe it in one word and why you picked that word.
Oh, I'm glad the movie was made because it's a story of fight. Keep fighting. Whether it's another piece of that cheeseburger, trying to become Olympic gold medalist, heavyweight champ of the world, getting up off the canvas, brushing your pants off, spitting in your palms and saying, I'm going one more round. And then having a family to fight for, a wife and children, all of those things to fight for, a reason to fight, and then finding God to make certain you fight to keep the faith.
Amen to that. And, we talked about your mom. We talked about, your wife, your kids, and just having that support around you. What did that mean to you? Because I know that's an important part of, getting to where you are, having a good support system.
Oh, that's right. My mom even told me once. She said, I stopped boxing for 10 years. She said, I didn't want you to just walk away from everything you'd worked. But she said, but now I accept you as my minister. You're my preacher. That touched me. And then my wife didn't know how to drive a stick shift car, and I had a truck at that time. She dropped me 10, 15 miles away from home and said, I'll meet you home. She believed that I wouldn't die along the road. You have people that have faith in you, and it changes everything.
I just love this story, you being able to tell this story now. And of course, you're a boxing legend. You're a legend inside and I would say outside the ring as well. Who are some of the people George Foreman is watching right now in that boxing ring?
Oh, I like all of the heavyweights, as a matter of fact. Deontay Wilder, the Gypsy King. Those guys are big heavyweight boxers. They're really putting on a good show. They're putting on boxing matches that will be remembered for years to come.
I love that you still...
Tyson Fury, that's his name. I love that.
So we have this movie coming out. What's next for Big George Foreman?
Well, I want to enjoy that movie. I took a lot of years to make for a story. Now you just want to keep living and make certain that people not only see the movie, but see me, that it's not a fluke. It really is real. God made a change in my life.
And that faith, that message of faith and inspiration comes across so strong. And I just have to thank you for putting that story out, for being a champion, not only for yourself, but for your family and so many people coming up behind you in your community. So thank you for doing that. George Foreman, Big George Foreman, amazing movie, and congratulations, because I know it's going to be super successful.
Thank you so much.